Hi everyone, hello. I am live supposedly in YouTube as always. Bear with me, I need to check this is working. I am watching my own channel in the other screen, and once I check the sound and everything works, perfect. I can now mute myself. Okay, perfect. Here I am. So today I've been thinking, and I actually asked inside my membership for ideas on what to do in this live session. This is something I want to try, and I have committed to try 6 times at least. And this is the 3rd one. So in the first live, which you can find all of them, the recordings, you can find them in my YouTube channel. But the first one, I was designing baby shower invitations and stationery on Zazzle. In the second one, I was designing some bridal suits for Minted. And today I have ended up deciding I will be designing a pattern for a Spoonflower challenge. Because the other day I was reflecting, we do this almost every month inside my membership, in which I guide the session to plan and to reflect and assess how things are going and to decide what you'll be working on in the next weeks. And I decided, I'm going to take this out because I don't need it. I decided that I would be focusing on Minted and Zazzle as I have been doing lately, but I want to go back into creating seamless patterns and growing especially my vector part of the patterns that I design. But they don't need to all be vector. I can be designing some patterns with watercolors if I want to. So today they will be digitally drawn. I don't know if I will be turning it into a vector pattern or not, but definitely my inspiration is going to be one of the Spoonflower challenges. It's what I decided. If you are here, I'm going to actually open so I can see if you leave any comments in the chat. So if you are here, just let me know, say hi, interact with me. I am open to suggestions, so if there is anything you would like to see me designing in future sessions, please comment here in the YouTube video or comment afterwards if you're watching the replay, and I will keep an eye to those ideas and to probably use them in future lives. Okay, so how this is going to be working, I will be sharing some of my thoughts, but it's not going to be a tutorial. It's not for you to follow along. It's just an open doors to my studio to see, so you can see the reality of how it is for me to, create, design, etc. If there is anything I'm not saying, hey, I see you saying hello in the comments. Thank you for that. So if there is anything I'm not saying and you're curious about, just ask me in the comments and I will do my best to reply. Otherwise, just stay with me. I don't know how long it's going to take. The last 2 have taken an hour. Maybe this one takes shorter. I don't think I'm going to ever stay longer because after 1 hour, I'm so tired. It's really different to design silently and, to be in your mood rather than thinking, okay, there's somebody watching you and you have to speak to them. So I'm going to try to not be as much silent as I would if I was alone, but yeah, we'll see. In the last live, I tried to share my iPad and I tested it again because there was an issue. There was something weird happening. I'm gonna try again today. If it doesn't work, I have also my phone set up to record, so we have plenty of possibilities. Let's get started. I see all your comments and it makes me super happy. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. I'm going to make myself smaller so you can see my screen. And this is the challenge that I decided I would be focusing on. And I couldn't stop myself. I started before the live session. It's probably, if you're a creative, you cannot stop your mind once it starts getting ideas or it gets curious. So I'm gonna walk you through what I have done so far, and from there we'll see what happens. So this is the challenges I was saying. It's a collaboration between Isfork and Spoonflower, and in the past challenges with these kind of collaborations, they give you a color code, and then you have to create a pattern using those colors because it matches the new ceramic colors that they are launching. So in this case, the names of the colors, it's Night Swim and Molasses, which honestly, I don't know what it means, molasses. If anyone knows and wants to tell me, I'll appreciate that. Otherwise, I could Google it. But yeah, I didn't. Anyway, it's just the name of the color, right? So then I scroll down and I saw here, here's the description. So to me, it felt like they are looking for designs that I either inspired by fall and autumn or almost like winter. So something that I struggle a little bit with Spoonflower, it's how they describe the challenges. I find that sometimes they use some words that I'm not familiar with, and I understand they want to leave it open, to your imagination, etc. But sometimes I don't get it. So something new I tried today was to copy this and ask ChatGPT to interpret it for me and give me some ideas. So I did that, and honestly, I am not a fan of the ideas, but I just wanted to share with you. So I told him I'm participating on a pattern design challenge, and this is the briefing. So I copied it, and then I asked, can you help me brainstorm ideas for the pattern illustrations? And these are the answers that ChatGPT gave me. I'm not like in love with each of the ideas, like in particular the whole idea, but it gave me some things to think about and things that inspired me. The first thing that I felt like intrigued by was the fireflies, like this light idea. Molasses is a very dark, you can use it in baking. Okay, interesting. Thank you. So yeah, this inspired me, the fireflies. Then I was also confirming the idea of autumn, and I like this idea of the colors changing on the leaves, and I think I'm gonna create this pattern, but not for this challenge, because this challenge, as you can see here, they request for the main colors to be those of their ceramics, so it doesn't make sense to incorporate more colors at the same level. So I will probably not do that idea, but I really liked what I envisioned based on this. And then there were other things that, like the cozy cabin idea, I liked it. And there was somewhere that made me think of a blanket. Now, another thing I did was go, and this was actually the first thing I did, go into Spoonflower and search for the past challenges that they have done with Isfork and see the winners. So they've done 3, this one, and this one. So what I did for all of them was scrolling and checking the winner to identify what do they have in common, and also the top voted ones. And something I noticed was lots of botanicals and flora references in all of the challenges. Also, clearly digital artwork stands out over hand drawn or hand painted. This is super digital, and these two very like plain colors. Sometimes some of them have some textures or shadows, but mainly it's plain digital illustration. So very beautiful designs, by the way. I love many of them. So these gave me an idea of, you know, what is ranking high in these challenges. And I'm gonna try to create something that fits this. Although honestly, every time I design for one of the Spoonflower challenges, I start with a concept or idea and I end up with something different. So I surprise myself and we'll see what happens. But this is my research and this is what I clearly see that they have in common. Then I went into East Fork website and I found this, which is the same image they are using on the challenge. So you can see here. So definitely this image has information telling me about the challenge. They are showing roots, they are showing the earth, they are showing autumny vibes with the tones. They have combined these two colors with other browns, with white, with other greens. So, and there are mushrooms, there are things that I'm gonna keep in mind when designing my pattern. I went through their website and I was searching for images in which they use the patterns that have won from the challenges, and I couldn't find it. Like, all of the images are just from their products, and as you can see, there are no patterns in here. So I continued my research and I went directly into Google Images and said East Fork Spoonflower, and this is what came up. Then I started opening some of the images and I can see how most of the patterns that they are using are not directly the winners, but they all have, you know, so much in common. It's little details, like if you compare it with winners or even with other Spoonflower winners, usually what gets ranked on top has a lot of, you know, elements and it's quite like impactful in terms of illustration. But what they are choosing to here to feature, it's like more of one illustration repeated multiple times, or a texture here. So more abstract, more simple, more like a complementary pattern rather than a hero pattern. So I'm gonna keep that in mind because one, I know it's really hard to win one of the Spoonflower challenges. I have never won. Two, I am seeing that in this case, the winner in voting, it's not the winner that East Fork selects. East Fork is going to be selecting the winner that they really like between the 50 top voted, and I can see how they are using more of the other patterns rather than the one called the winner. So my aim is to capture their attention and get my pattern featured on, you know, their photos. So I'm gonna go more for this result rather than winning, or, you know, but also I need the voting. I need to be in the top 50, otherwise none of this will happen. And again, I'm quite conscious that it may not happen. Like, the big percentage of the possibilities is that it's not going to happen, that I end up in the 50 top voted, because it has only happened to me a few times of the ones I've participated on Spoonflower challenges. So just so you know, in my mind, I'm doing this because I want to grow my portfolio, because I want to go back into designing patterns, and winning or being in the top 50, winning and being selected by East Fork are just extras. Not doing all of this to, you know, achieve that or nothing, but it's one of the things to keep in mind. So I am doing my research with that in mind. Let me show you other things that attracted or captured my attention. Here we have another image, and it's more of a textual, and actually I didn't saw this image, and this is one of the ideas I was going for. I'm going to tell you in a minute. Here we can see others. I don't know why they are not loading properly, but we can see what's in there. And I saw one which I can't find now. Let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, this one. I think this is very like particular because this is the winner of this challenge. This is the one they selected. So it's this pattern. And here we can see how they used it. It's definitely, you know, inspiring. Let's leave it at that. Okay, so this was my research. Other things I did was go to a website that I found that was on Eastfork and was talking about Spoonflower. And here we can see again this image that we just saw, and another one that it's just the same as I was saying before. Simple patterns, more like complementary patterns, and you know, part of a collection, but not the hero pattern. So yeah, this inspired me, and then I started brainstorming, or my mind, I couldn't stop my mind, and my mind started getting some ideas. So topics I'm thinking about are definitely leaves. I want to try to draw some leaves and see what comes up. And then the blanket idea, I really like that idea. So at first I thought on just, you know, designing some kind of plate. I think it's plate, how it's called. So here we are going into, I have covered what I've done so far, and we're gonna go into new things. So what I definitely want to do is search on Pinterest for plate. I think this is the word. Yeah, I'm going for this. So I want to get inspiration on these kind of patterns, because this to me represents like cozy, being in that cabin, and you know, having this blanket. So I'm liking this texture here. And the other idea I had in mind was incorporating leaves to create this kind of pattern. And honestly, I don't know how it's gonna end up looking, but I'll try. So with that in mind, I am gonna go into my, I don't know, I'm thinking if doing it by hand or on the iPad. I think I'm gonna start sketching by hand a little bit, and then I'll move into the iPad. So let me bring here my phone so we can see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna, in a minute, show you my phone. Okay, it's not showing what I want. Let's try again. I promise you, I've tried it several times. I don't know why it isn't working now. Okay, camera. Maybe I need to open the camera on my phone. Give me a second, and if it doesn't work, I will. Oh, yeah, it worked for a second. This is so annoying. I disconnected it, and then when you connect it again, it seems like it's not working properly. I'm gonna try to add it again. Okay. iPhone camera. It's definitely not what I want. Okay, you know what? Let's forget about that. I'm gonna sketch in my iPad. That way you will see it easily, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, can you see my iPad? if I can, I will later go into the phone again. Okay, so I'm gonna go into Procreate. This is just a test I did. And as I was saying, I want to have, so let's sketch some things like this. Brush. Okay. So I'm imagining, let me go back to the plate inspiration. So plates have some regularity in the lines, and then something like this. So I'm thinking, can I create these with leaves, or will it be super weird? One idea is to use the leaves just to kind of like create the lines. They look more like hearts than leaves, but just a sketch. The leaves that I'm drawing, in my mind, I'm thinking on these kind of leaves, but these kind of leaves do not make autumn per se. Like, to me, autumny leaves are more like this one, and the one that it's more like this. So, no, maybe it could be just the texture, or maybe I just have to go with one or the other idea. Maybe it's too weird to combine them both. I'm gonna check your comments. You love the tip to research past contests and winners. Yay, glad to hear that. Yeah, I do try to do a lot of research and kind of like investigate. And by the way, this is what I'm teaching in my newest training. It's basically what I call think like a designer. You want to, understand what's going on behind the scenes for those challenges, for the ones who are running them, so that you can create something that fits what is getting top vote. Okay, so you're seeing this, but you're not seeing my screen. Let me do something. I'm gonna make my screen. This is what I'm seeing on my screen, and this is my iPad, because I want to share with you what I'm seeing on the screen. I want to go back to, as I said, the winners. And definitely this has nothing else than pretty botanicals in the colors. This has also simple elements with flowers on them. And this one, it's again simple botanicals, just creating a texture. So you know what? I'm gonna start by drawing the leaves, and I'll see then when I have the graphics how they look pattern wise. Maybe I just forget totally about this plate idea, or maybe I don't, but I need to start drawing. So let me share my screen. Let me stop sharing my screen, and you can see the iPad again. Okay, I'm gonna create a new layer. This one, I don't need to see it anymore. And I'm gonna go to Pinterest to get some reference in autumn leaves. Of course, I don't want to copy them, but I need to have them as preview. Okay, so quickly, I'm liking this shape, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay, could be a symmetry illustration, but I think I like it better without the symmetry. So could something like this. I'm gonna work on the shape later, but this would be one of the drafts. I think I want to add, I want to work on the details in this one, and maybe this makes it not a good match for a vector pattern, so I'll see. Maybe I turn it into a vector lately, or I simplify it for the vector version and I go with a texture one for Spoonflower, because I'm seeing this similarity in the illustrations. They are flat, but they do have details. They have some textures. Okay, so this could be one of the leaves. What else do we have? Oh, I like this one. This is so funny. So it's something like this, and then it makes this shape. So this drawing is horrible. Okay, this shape and everything that's irregular. And again, I want to go into the veins and oh yeah, this one. This to me it's super autumny. Simple ones, more like this. And then okay. Question is, should I have like lots of different leaves or keep it to just 4? Let me see what others are doing. Definitely not using many different things. Okay. I think I want to incorporate some mushrooms because it seems like this is what they are featuring and looking for if they are featuring it. So these kind of mushrooms, I don't know any of the names and even less in English, but this could be a group of mushrooms. Then I could have, this is the typical one we have here, which is, I don't know how they call it in other languages, but we call it roballo. And people love going for it, going to the woods and searching for this. Then we have the like typical one would be like green, not green, red with white dots. I think I'm happy with these 3 kinds. So I have the mushrooms and I have the leaves. Let's start by trying to draw these with the end in mind. So like this brush, I use it quite often. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this just in case, because I don't know if I want to keep the line or not. I shouldn't have done this here. Here, a new layer. Okay. I think this would go together. The same color as the veins. So I can keep it in the same layer if I want to keep the same color. I'm gonna start with one of the illustrations to set the tone of the illustrations that I'm going for, and then once I like it, I can draw the rest. So Heather, hello, welcome. I see you're asking what software I'm using. I'm now sharing my iPad screen and I'm drawing with Procreate. And after that, I will probably either move to Illustrator, which is what I usually use to create my patterns, or maybe I stay here if I end up with an illustration that has lots of textures, because on Illustrator I tend to go for plain and vector patterns, but something's telling me that this will have more texture than my usual patterns. It's been a long time I don't do this. I spent 3 months in which every week I was creating a collection of patterns and I was designing 12 minimum from the collection. And now it feels like so far away this. So probably my design will look nothing like what I used to do. So I have here in this layer the veins, and then in this layer it would be the base of the leaf. So I'm gonna, yeah, you know what, I need to bring the colors. That's definitely something I need to do. So let's go to the website. I am sure that, yeah, here I can write the code they are giving me. So it's 005E5D. This is one of the colors. I'm just gonna create a new layer and make sure I have it. This is one of the colors, and the other one, and you know, just by seeing this color, I'm thinking I should have gone for the plate idea. So maybe I stop here and I go for the plate idea, and from there see if I can incorporate the leaves somehow. And the other color, let's go to the other color. This is 4C. I hate when this happens, I want it bigger, but anyway. 4C 3, 1, 2 D. Done. Okay, so this is the second color. And then they say you can combine it with eggshell, they call it, which is DDA for ED. No, for E6. EDE for E6. Yeah, that. Okay, looks like a nice combination. Then they have, there we go, this is what I like, panna cotta EDE 6D6. Okay. And nine, 4, 8, 2, 7, 2. Okay, and finally 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, which is almost black. Okay, so this would be the palette. I'm gonna create a new palette. This one, this one, this. And the main colors are this and this. Honestly, not a fan of this palette, but anyway. Okay. Let's start filling with some of the colors and see what happens. And then I could go and do a clipping mask here because I wanted to bring texture, so let's try it. These lighter tones. I'm liking it, but I'm not like feeling the autumn vibes. Oops. I'm gonna try with this color. I don't know, I'm not inspired. I'm gonna go with my plate idea and see what happens. So I'm gonna scratch all of this. Well, not scratch it, I'm gonna leave it here, but try with the plate and see what happens. So I'm going back to Pinterest to see some of the plates I found. I actually designed one plate for, the challenge this holiday season, but anyway, I'm gonna do this one from scratch because I want it to be different. So I'm gonna create a new document that's square one. I think it's gonna help me see better the pattern design. I want to try with some of these more artistic brushes, see if anything I know I have some textures here. I think it's this, no, which one is it? Bitumes. I like this because it makes basically kind of like the texture of what would be, I don't know how I've done this, multiplying. Oh, it's changing the direction, okay. Interesting. No. Okay, so I'm gonna take one of the lightest colors and make this the background texture to have something to start with. And then I'm gonna see if it makes any sense to create my plate idea. Okay, let me see what plates have common. I'm gonna save this just in case. Now I'm gonna make 15:1. Okay. That's a weird one because I see plates having the texture more in diagonal. And maybe just the brush, maybe I need to change the brush. Yeah, this one. Yes. This one. Okay, I'm gonna start over. Painting the background. New layer with the green, and the first one was at 5. Yes, I like it much better. And the second at 15. Don't know why it's not painting. Okay, clearly the second one I need it closer. So I'm gonna try to do it. Oh, no. It changed the direction as soon as I changed. Okay, I like this. I like this. Now if I repeat just to see how it would look like, and then group, duplicate the group and rotate. Let's see if I rotate it like this. No, I'm not liking. Oh yeah, I'm gonna flip it horizontal. Yeah, because I want all the stripes to go in the same direction. You see this happening. Real plates. I like what's happening here, and it's not happening everywhere. But it's a starting point. Now I want to bring the other color. Does it make any sense to have it like this? Should I make it background color? No. Definitely not the background color. So weird. Depending on where I put it, it looks cool. Depending on where I put it, it looks horrible. I think my issue here is that I don't like the color palette they are requesting. I'm really not liking this palette. Okay, what can I do? Let's continue with the green because I like the green. I want to try with another. Honestly, I don't know if I'll ever use this. But hey, I wanted to share live design, and this is definitely live design. Me thinking and trying and now maybe I can bring this as the accent. Yes, I think I like this. It's definitely my interpretation of a plate because I don't think this is following any plate rules, but okay. And obviously it's not yet a seamless pattern, and I don't think I'll have time to create it live, but I think I don't know if I'll submit it for the challenge, but for sure use this pattern somewhere. I'm grabbing this and duplicating it to not that bad. I'm checking the time and it's almost an hour. Do any of you have any questions, anything you want me to share? Or any comments or suggestions for next lives? What I usually do at this point is there's something here, I'm not 100% sure I like it or it's what I want to submit, so I have been working on it for an hour. I'm gonna leave it sit, take a rest, and go back to it, watch it with fresh eyes, and then make decisions from there. So this is definitely what I'm gonna do. Because I like it, but I'm not a fan at the same time. But I like the texture that it's getting. Just there are some of the things that I'm not loving. Anyway, let me make myself bigger again. Today the iPad worked, but the phone was a fail. Every day there is a new learning curve, but yeah. Hopefully this inspired you. I think the most interesting from today's live was the research and reflection and how to, get ideas. I'm still looking at the pattern. There's something about it I like, just not everything. Just waiting to see if any of you have any comments or Sue, you like it. Thank you. Glad to hear that. Maybe it's just me. This happens a lot. When you work on something and you have watched it for, you are watching it constantly and you have something in mind and then it ends up being different. Most of the times I don't like it, and then my boyfriend passes around and he sees it and he's like, whoa, what's this? It's super cool. And I'm like, really? I don't like it. So it can happen. Thank you, Sue, for letting me know you like it. I don't know if it has ever happened to you, but it happens to me all the time that I'm, kind of like bored of something because I've been seeing it for too long. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna stop the live. Just as a reminder, I'm doing this every other Wednesday, but yesterday I went to the oculist and they put me some eye drops and I couldn't see anything for 5 hours. It was crazy. Well, I mean, by the end of the 5 hours, it was way less, but it was hard and it gave me migraine and everything. It was the first time that I got those eye drops, and I totally feel for the people who have to check their eyes regularly. I hated it. It was so annoying. So I had to postpone it, and that's why we are doing it today, which is Thursday. But usually I do this every other Wednesday. You will have the upcoming sessions in my YouTube live section, like the live events one. You can get notified in there. If you are in my email list, you will receive email reminders, and if you're watching the replay, feel free to leave a comment and I will for sure check. As I said, I'm looking for ideas of things that you would love to see. So if there is any suggestions that you have, anything you want me to share or anything you want me to work on, I'll be very happy to hear them and consider them for future lives. And thank you again for coming. I hope you have a nice day, and please let me know your feedback. I love hearing from you. Okay, I'll leave you here. Bye.